On Ugin Gaming. I want to start with my Boros Steelcutter list. This one is really weird and experimental, but I want to start with it because I get to see the most Steelcutters. Because I'm playing Stoneforge and Steelcutter, and we're using Stoneforge, Steelcutter, Amulet, Bauble, to a lesser extent Ragavan and Treasure Tokens to enable our Mox Opals. So it's a little bit low, but you can also like Jolted Awake Bauble too. So we'll see if this ends up being enough. But I think it's kind of cool to be like pretty aggressive where Guide of Souls is good with Steelcutter. You get to put counters on your hasty prowess tokens. The extra tokens trigger your Guide of Souls. Ocelot Pride copies the tokens. And then Amulet and Stoneforge Mystic give you kind of a steady stream of gasoline to keep triggering your Cori-Steel Cutter. For those of you who don't know this card, it's a 2-mana equipment. Whenever you cast your second spell, you make a monk token, which attaches to this equipment if you want it to, and that equipped creature gets +1/+1 trample haste. So if you can go turn 2 Steelcutter into a 0-drop, you have a turn 2 prowess token with trample haste, and then in theory, pretty often you could make another token like every turn after this too. All right, so let's get in there. At least not in our first draft here. All right, let's keep this ham. I'm kind of excited to be playing more Ragavans if the metagame is very Eldrazi versus combo-y. Yeah, Cauldron very weak to K command. Sunforger cast the card, so it's possible yeah, you can play the Sunforger stuff. It's true. Yeah, I still haven't played the Aether Spark. I have trophied with it, but I haven't actually cast the card. Runs on a mold 4 here. Well, I was about to agree that life is rough sometimes as my opponent's mold 4. However, they've revealed themselves to be a Titan player, so just a good luck, have fun to them. You have some Blood Moons on the sideboard. Now, one thing about the whole Ugin Eldrazi Menace, for better or for worse, Titan is very good against Eldrazi, and Ugin's not very good against Titan. How much hate do I have? I have 4 Blood Moons. Okay, that's good. Okay, Jolted Awake. Well, we do got to go fast here. I'm going to go ahead and think Ragavan. Keep the new one, of course. Guess bad to get the basic mountain because now I can't surveil this turn. Yes, use Steelcutter's ability. Let's go ahead and spin 0 energy. Of course. I think we're going to jump the Ragavan. So we're hitting our opponent for 9. They're at 9 here. We could cast this to trigger a Steelcutter maybe, but we're just going to pass here. Exploring. We did steal a Grazer from them. We'll see if they find another one here. Right now we have 8, 9. So they block here. See if I jump this. This is... So if I cast Jolted Awake on the Ragavan, then we have 3 + 2 + 1 + 2. So that's not... It's not going to be lethal. Potentially could have been lethal if we had drawn a spell, but we've drawn a land. Let's go ahead and surveil with the Parlor before we do anything else. Another Ragavan. I guess I'm just going to cycle this, looking for a Galvanic Discharge for lethal. Okay, draw Sunbaked Canyon instead. So just going to attack, let them chump block, and then see what they can do next turn. They only have 4 mana and no Amulet, so we'll see. Yeah, we could have moved it over to Ragavan for trample, although it's not like they have like anything we'd really want to cast. Also, with this Canyon, the treasure token could end up being relevant next turn. But I think that this could be interesting in general. Should play 14 lands. We're playing 16, I think. Or 18, rather, with the Opals. I think it's fine. We also have 3 Canyons. We also have got these Blood Moons in the board we want to cast. I also need to think, like, how many portable holes do I want to play for amulets? Like, I think I'm cutting my Galvanic Blasts, and I think I'm going to be cutting my Jolted Awakes against a deck that's not really removing any of my stuff ever. And then Portable Holes also kind of help some of the Metalcraft that in theory Jolted Awake can help with. So maybe I just play 3 Portable Holes. You could play Needle. You could play Rest in Peace also. Probably the first copy of Rest in Peace is good. Should have a Stoneforge. I could play the 4th Discharge. I don't think I want that many. I think 3 is a good number. Yeah, let's play the 2nd Rest in Peace and click Submit. Is there a possibility to jam Mox Opal, Amber, Jasper in the same deck? I mean, yeah, there is a deck that could really feasibly do that with the new Dragon Mox, but it's a bit early to say if that's going to be any good. I think I'm keeping this pretty aggressive hand. If they don't lead on Grazer, I'm going to play Ragavan turn 1, and then if they do great, other the Woodland makes it kind of awkward. Okay, I guess this lets me a bit more comfortably Ragavan. They pick up the Beseiju. Lotus Field. Get basic planes. We got Blood Moon in the deck. So it's nice that we have enough energy to Galvanic Discharge a Titan now. Faithful Looting. Thank you for the 4 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Casting the Jolted Awake gave 2 prowess and energy to jump again. Moving the cutter if that might have been lethal. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think about moving the cutter. Yeah, it could have been lethal. At least be 1 anyways, I guess. So obviously just top decking a Blood Moon probably makes this relatively painless. But we're not in bad shape here. I guess if they just pick up the Beseiju, then top decking Blood Moon doesn't do a lot. Okay, I have another Grazer. And then they put another Gruul Turf into play. So their hand is Beseiju, Forest, Mystery card. We draw Cori-Steel Cutter. So if I play Steelcutter and then I play Mox Opal, I get my token creature, which I can copy. The problem is that I won't be able to hold up the Galvanic Discharge because I won't be hitting them with the Ragavan. I get to copy the token too, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure that a Titan really does that much here. Or at the very least, like, I'm going to gain so much life that, like, killing a Titan doesn't seem like it'll matter that much, maybe. I could just be wrong, but I'm also going to I'm going to gain so much life. Let's just take this line, I think. Yeah, I get to copy the token 3 times. Surely it's lethal next turn regardless of play it's safe. Yeah, but it's just like, I get to gain so much life. I don't know how it could matter. And to some extent, we also just, we've come here to see what the new cards look like when tested. I do think I'm going to go ahead and just put the counters here so I get the most damage in. And maybe they end up blocking elsewhere. No, they do block the Ragavan. Yeah, I don't have the Discharge for Titan because I don't get the treasure token. Because I can't move the Steelcutter onto the Ragavan. We could also just block the Titan too. We're at 32 life. Not a bad turn at the very least. Steelcutter is sick. They're kind of on Scapeshifter bust. Yeah, the Discharge doesn't do much against Scapeshift, does it? Scapeshift is like, it's so good in these. Discharge would have killed Dryad. Does that matter? They only play 1 Dryad. It could matter. Could have been better to hold up Discharge. At the very least, for the purposes for our playtest Ori Steelcutter stream, I think I'll just cast the Steelcutter here, which I think is just more important to show off what this card can do. Yeah, Bombardment and Johnny were really hard to fit in. Obviously, you could get those cards in, but like playing Mox Opal's got some pretty big costs, which is I think important for like this Steelcutter build. It seems like they do, in fact, not have Scapeshifter. They just have snapped it off. Well, we know our opponent's hand is Beseiju, Forest, Mystery card, so it's kind of tough for them to have 2 different payoffs they could choose to cast. It's possible. But you would think that if they had Titan or Scapeshift, they would have just already put it on the stack. But Bombardment and a Johnny over Stoneforge and some Amulet. Well, then you run the risk of, like, you're cutting basically 8 artifact cards in your Mox Opal deck, and I don't think you have enough support for it. So, like, it's yeah, you like, to play Mox Opal, I think you have to play Unstable Amulet at the very least. You might not have to play Stoneforge. How did both Ugin decks do? We went 3-2 into 4-1, and Ugin was phenomenal. And completely unbeatable for any non-combo deck or Eldrazi deck, it seemed. No, I haven't brewed with Songcrafter yet, but it's high on my list. Okay, they have Titan and Summer's Pact. They get Aftermath Analyst. I exiled one of their Lotus Fields. Was that this game or last game? That was this game. So yeah, maybe leaving up the Discharge would have paid off better. So now Titan just wins with Boseiju Auto War Loop. Not exactly. I think we're cooked. They had to have Titan plus, like, Pact, basically. Yeah, but they do just get to churn through their whole deck here. Yeah, the people who say this deck wouldn't function without Amulet, that's so silly. Okay, let's keep going. Going to game 3. It's my birthday, no Amulet rants. Get to be on the play for game 3. As a non-Titan player, can you explain why this is lost? Yeah, just give me 1 second to keep her mulligan here. Click the keep button, I think, just mostly because we're trying to test this Steelcutter stuff. Needle and Analyst too narrow. We brought in Rust in Peace instead, which I think is a bit better, although it's slower. They're on a mold of 5. Getting nice presents. Esther got me tickets to the Mavs-Lakers game tomorrow, although that was before the Luka trade. My mom got me a water bottle and a nice scrapbook. It was very cool. Yeah, so that's a loss. What they can do is they can start to Shifting Woodland copy Aftermath Analyst, and then that lets them loop all of the lands in their graveyard, making infinite mana. And then this also lets them sacrifice their Urza's Cave on each of the loops, and sacrificing the Urza's Cave on each of the loops lets them get every land out of their deck, including, T-West for Summoner's Pact for win condition. Thanks, Bolas. Yeah, it's funny. We still get to see Luka play. My mom also got me a LeBron jersey, so I don't know if I'm going to wear it to the game or if Esther might wear it instead. We'll see. My opponent says, oh, well. Happy birthday to me, baby. Titan mulling to 5 and keeping his maybe just an only bounce land hand. Happy birthday to me. Okay, so let's look at our top card and see if it's a land. We don't need to play the Bauble. It's an Unstable Amulet. Seems like I want to just keep the... oh, whoops. Sorry, I forgot to... Missed 2 damage. Now we're going to lose for sure. Uh-oh. Okay, so our opponent definitely has an Amulet. I guess they could have Dismember. Oh, cool. So now we get to cast the Ocelot Pride. All right, we'll play the Bauble here, I think. Could be good to get another trigger, but... Oh, this actually might give me Kitty's Blessing. Oh, I already have the Kitty's Blessing, okay. So I get to copy the Prowess token again? Dude, this deck is awesome. Get an Unstable Amulet next turn. So they do probably have bounce lands in their hand. We see an Urza's Cave. Here's the amulet. It is my birthday, opponent. So come on, don't kill me. Don't do it. Oh no. Okay, thank you. Happy birthday to me. Woo. Okay, opponent's on a Kahira deck. We're gonna mulligan to at least 6. This looks like a good enough 6 to me. I think with them being a Kahira deck, we can put back the Galvanic Blast, although maybe blasting a Narset or Teferi will be a good. I'm pretty excited to go. Oh, I guess we can't Opal to cast. Oh, now we can. That's pretty good. Yeah, I need the Bauble so I can go on turn 3, like Stoneforge in, Steelcutter, Opal, Bauble, get a token, and play the amulet. Zaga Triumph Forest here. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I do agree that the Stoneforge might not be what one might call good in this deck, but I definitely want to try it. I'm casting it here. I mean, I guess maybe what I should do is... Yeah, no, I guess actually what we should do is we should go cast Unstable Amulet and then cast Guide of Souls off these. Remit. And then we could have gone Stoneforge, get Steelcutter, cast Steelcutter. Oh, sorry, I guess it being the second spell, you don't get the token. Alright, we'll just play Guide Stoneforge here then. Yeah, I agree. It seems like Wilderness Rack. I think I'm going to crack the Bauble. Good card to know about. Maybe just casting 2 Stoneforge for 2 Steelcutter so that they do have the rack. Is the Mox field not right? Looks like it is. What's the new addition with Wilderness Rack? So there's a 2-mana instant speed regrowth that's pretty cool. They might be playing that. So I guess this card too. Look at the top 4, put 2 of them in your hand, and the rest in the graveyard. I don't know. I feel like this is worse than Brain Surge. It's not worse against Bowmaster, but it's much easier to cast. I guess it kind of maybe it's not that much worse. Dragonstorm is the name of the set. We haven't built around the Dragonstorm card yet. We did play against it. It looked pretty good. Worse than stock up. Well, being an instant in a reclamation deck, I don't think it's worse than stock up. Feels the card yard for delve. Well, there are no delve spells you can play, right? There are delve adjacent cards, but not in this format. Okay, so they procession, return the bargain. They push my Stoneforge Mystic. And then they pass. Good chance I'm holding the Opal for Steelcutter next turn. Seems to be the play. Maybe I should play Canyon. I don't have another Surveil land. I could draw a second Canyon, but I could also fetch to Thin here. I think that's what I'm going to play to instead. I can't believe these 3 remands have been so good against me this game. Obviously, that's if we were just on the play. Another Fatal Push. 12 life. They put 2 lands in the graveyard there, so it's possible this wasn't a good bargain. Another wreck. Floating mana, so they got something. Yeah, it could be good with Deluge, that's true. Another bargain. Maybe this card's just great. Planar Genesis, and they put a land into play really fast, which is bad for me that they're like, I need a land here on where they have infinite mana basically. Yeah, they have Kihira Companion. Then they Abrupt Decay my Steelcutter. It's incredibly rude. Alright, I'll scoop to Lore Revealed. Let's keep the ball rolling here if we want to play that Teamer deck today too. Alright, so Blood Moon's in. Some combination of Galvanic Blast and Discharge coming out. The Discharge coming out first, of course. I don't think I want Rest in Peace. Oh, I mean, they have the Regrowth card. Let's play the first Rest in Peace over the third Blast. I think between that and Deluge, and they might have some other Graveyard synergies, is probably fine. How do they win? It doesn't. I mean, Nexus of Fate is itself a win condition. Like, it's just it's an infinite turn card where you don't deck yourself. So their win condition could just be Nexus of Fate Kihira, and you just don't cast Kihira until you have your infinite turns loop going. They could have Shark Typhoon in their deck. They could have Blue Sun Zenith in their deck. Will I be playing the Charlotte's Buck deck with Skimmer? It's unlikely we get to that today since we're 4 hours in and this league just started, but we will definitely play it at some point this week. I'm pretty excited for this. Okay, so we're gonna hold the Bauble for turn 2 Steelcutter. When it kept 7. Pretty sure it's a Mystical Teachings deck. So I think you basically never play Teachings anymore. Instead, you play the MH3 MDFC that kind of acts like a one-shot Teachings. At least that's what I was doing. Like I would never play Mystical Teachings over Deluge, but I would play that other card. If they had Fatal Push, they should have pushed probably before I got my trigger, but I guess it's not that big a deal. Yeah, I had a K command rec build. We can look at that also. I also want to play rec with some of the new cards. I feel like we're running into new brews like at a much higher density than we historically have for new sets, which is exciting, I think. Okay, so Jolted Awake, Guide of Souls. Cast Ragavan. Make another monk. Sorry, I should have dashed the Ragavan. I was just for some reason thinking about I was getting remanded, but still would have been better to dash. What's the mono red monument deck? You can find out YouTube or the Mox Field. Uses Monument to Endurance. All right, attacking for 6. They're at 9 life points. They Growth Spiral into top Breeding Pool. See if they have like Wreck into Cryptic Command. No Wreck. They might still have Cryptic Command. So Jolted Awake can get back my Bauble for 1 mana and can get me 2 extra energy. And the 2 energy is really nice because that lets me jump with the Guide of Souls. And then I can try to sack and find a 1 or 0 drop to pop off with the Steelcutter. Also, this, the cantripping kind of lets me dig to trigger the Steelcutter again next turn. I do kind of think they're just gonna Cryptic Command me, but so it's maybe I should have done this afterwards. I think it's okay. So down to 4, not the highest life total. Can you stack the triggers with Ragavan Dash, new Narset, so you can discard your hand, return Ragavan? Yep, you should be able to. All right, Planar Genesis in hand over there. We draw another Sunbaked Canyon. Glad I included these, I guess. Lore Revealed. Still no Reclamation. I'm getting a little flooded, but we also just have lethal in play, so that's good. Only 18 lands in the deck. Alright, chaining the Cryptics together. Could we have Galvanic at the beginning of combat after Cryptic? Yeah, we could have done that. I'm not super used to playing against Cryptic Command these days. So despite me feeling like they were going to play it, I sure did not play around it very well. We might as well play this and equip the Steelcutter, I guess, although... not likely to matter very much. Yeah, more Cryptic Looping. Yeah, this card makes Cryptic Loops pretty cool. We do get a Guide token, or Pride token. Okay, I was rooting for the Cryptic commands, but I'll take the win, I guess. Maybe Zarthist or Zathist, but we got a lot to get to. We'll get around to it. Well, I'm definitely clicking the keep button. I'm probably leading on the Ragavan. Yeah, and then that can let me cast the rest of my hand next turn if I connect with the Ragavan. And like, you know, in these kind of matchups, it's like you have exactly 4 copies of Fatal Push if you don't have one of them in your hand. You know, and they don't have black mana here. See, it's pretty tough for them to get around the Ragavan connecting. Although they might have some counter magic. Maybe spiral into Fatal Push. Maybe looking for it. There's our we could cast, I guess we can't cast that. Not that we would if we could. But we get to go Steelcutter, Mox Opal, make a monk, Guide, Pride. Do I have Kitty's Blessing for this on turn 2? They have Consign? Nature's Claim. We still get the Prowess token. But I don't have Metalcraft anymore. I have gained life though, so I guess we're gonna play Ocelot Pride instead of Guide of Souls. Weird game. Okay, turn 3 Wreck, always pretty dang good. Let's go to combat first. Maybe a Nature's Claim with Ragavan. So if this amulet resolves, then we get Metalcraft remanded. I guess I'm actually just going to play the Guide of Souls. Because the extra energy that I get from the cats are going to make this amulet a lot better. I also get the extra treasure tokens. Not irrelevant, but probably not that relevant. 3 cards in their hand. Facing down a lethal attack, maybe they have a sweeper here. Draw 3. Might consume the meek here. Yeah, if they have Cryptic, I really don't want them to counter my amulet and draw cards, so we're going to go to combat first, I think. Hopefully we can just hit a Blood Moon. Alright. So, cast the amulet, see if this resolves. I'm going to Bauble myself first, so I can kind of dig a bit deeper with Blood Moon. This is the fastest Wreck play I've ever seen. You haven't watched me play Wreck? Okay, we hit the Blood Moon, which is awesome. Now, I don't have another basic planes, but I could just get a Sacred Foundry, I think. Let's try to save the treasure tokens. Might as well. It's a tough card for them to play through. I know as a longtime rec player. They give us the GGs. Probably not going to keep this one. I'm going to keep backup Ragavan over the Mox Opal. Pretty bad mulligans. And we're in a fair matchup. You don't like 1 Aether Spark? Sincerely, do you? Like, when I played the Aether Spark in my Hammer deck when it came out, I never tutored it. I never wanted to tutor for it. I never had it in play. I've played against it once. It looked pretty bad. But it is possible the card is better than I think it is. But just like sincerely, have you played it? Do you think Aether Spark is secretly good? Because I'm not really under that impression. But I could be wrong. No, Weather the Storm is not good against Storm. They can kill you after you cast it most of the time. Like it just doesn't very reliably stop them from killing you. Yeah, I was kind of worried they were gonna go tank Johnny. All right, we really need to hit like a 1-mana creature here. What about Steelcutter with Saheeli to copy Steelcutter? It seems not that interesting. I have a Flage. It's gonna be very tough on the Mold of 5 here. All Ragavans, huh? Yeah, Saheeli sure does suck, so I don't know, not that interesting. But it says 4 lands in a row. Okay, well I'm gonna say good news. Oh, I was gonna say good news, you're almost definitely gonna win. Then I drew this Unstable Amulet, so let's let them tilt. I you know, I mulled to 5 and my hand sucks at the moment. What do you mean? Was 4 lands in a row good for you? Because this is main deck Celestial Purge. What is happening? So, playing the Static Prison lets them escape the Flage next turn. Why didn't we jam a Ragavan? It's better to like let them attack with this 1/3 next turn and I get to dash the Ragavan. Like if I play this 1/3, like they're just going to hold back their 1/3 and I won't be able to hit them with it. I can't really beat the Flage probably. I guess I can play to draw Galvanic Discharge now, where I can go Guide into Ragavan into Discharge on the Flage, so this could be a plan. I really, why are you Boros players putting this card into your deck? Maybe the synergy with Guide and Pride is good. I feel like this card sucks. Yeah, main deck Purge is wild. It's interesting though. I mean, I think just this is basically gain 3 life against the Flage. Seems okay. Guide Prep Bombardment. Okay, Bombardment too. So that's maybe good. Although it's like this is your worst 2-drop. Wait, this makes red permanent? Red tokens? Oh, I know the tokens are red. Okay, this card's kind of sick actually. I get it now. So my opponent plays Bombardment to combo with their Voice of Victory. Okay, so when my opponent said 4 lands in a row, I'm going to ask, you kept a 0 lander? Because they... Or are they saying I hit them with Ragavan 4 lands in a row? I'm going to not respond, actually. I've decided. Okay, they can get their Ocelot back next turn. No, I only hit them with Ragavan twice. Alright, we're going to need a good hit off this Ragavan. Although, we're actually just dead to them. Killing my Ragavan with Voice. Then they escape Flage. Ocelot into play. Sack the... Oh, I guess I go to 1. I mean, I might hit Static Prison for the bombardment. Okay. Game 2. Tough mull to 5. Alright, so in the Boros matchup, I'm interested in these cards. I might be interested in a Needle. I would think I want to play the first Rest in Peace. So I want to cut the Ragavans. Maybe I don't play Rest in Peace. Obviously, Flage is kind of a nightmare. Yeah, we'll play the Rest in Peace. We'll just cut the Jolted Awake. So obviously, Awake's pretty good, but I think if we're just going to be in on the Rest in Peace plan, it's fine. Yeah, me and Caleb share a birthday. Funny. I haven't wished Caleb happy birthday yet. I need to do that. All right, keeping this. Would kind of be better to be on the draw here because we get to play the portable whole turn 1. What are the odds? 1 in 365. I also share a birthday with my twin sister. What are the odds of that? I guess it's possible to not. I wonder how often like the first twin is born before midnight and then the second twin is born after midnight. Yeah, it's actually not 100% to share a birthday with your twin. That's kind of fun. That's the whole plot of Mishra, isn't it? That they don't share a birthday? I'm not very deep into the lore. I didn't know it was so birthday oriented. Yeah, maybe Legionnaire. I like that Marty list too. It's been a little while since I really thought about it, to be honest, but I'd be open to it. I'm gonna be saving these this Bauble for prowess triggers at the very least. Dude, Steelcutter is good. So if they discharge my token, I discharge in response to save it, I basically lose the Yeah, it's not going to be something I'll do. Just found a news article about twins not sharing the same birth year. That is pretty fun. Alright, I'm going to cash in this Bauble now for the just extra 2 damage and the card for next turn. I don't think we'll have an issue double spelling next turn. Dude, the amount of people when I was talking about this card on stream who were like, it's a 2-mana 2/2 with trample and haste. You think that's good enough in modern? And I'm like, chatters, you know you get more than 1 turn. And also, prowess creatures are usually a bit bigger anyways. But the amount of people who like forgot about extra turns that you get to take in the course of a game. Yeah, so far Steelcutter seems better than Voice of Victory. It's been great all 3 matches too, which is pretty important to note that it's not just popping off in one of these games. Yeah, I think Sinu's worth testing. You'd have to get like a lot of reps to feel like if it was worth it. But I think it makes sense in that build especially. I think the gameplay is neat. The tension of casting your spells for prowess triggers versus saving them for token. Yeah, I think I agree that it's neat. It's pretty similar to just like actual Monastery Mentor. Okay, the Exile is Celestial Purge. Any cards sitting out? Ugin was phenomenal. Steelcutter's been phenomenal. These are the only 2 cards we played so far. Also, Should have Steelcutter in the teamer deck. It's kind of hard to include Mox Opal. I think it's also nice to play a non-Mox Opal deck like this. Average time between twins is 25 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sure what my range is. So for you to be born on different birthdays, the odds are 1.67%. It's fun. Why do we say Bauble for this turn? Well, because we're going to be able to play 2 spells next turn, so just cashing it in for the card and the 2 extra damage is pretty good. 0 mana, 2 damage, draw a card is pretty strong. Maybe it would have been worth an extra card the following turn. So I'm probably let's see what we draw. And just having an extra card here does seem pretty nice. Okay, so I guess we just go Stoneforge Mystic. Target the cat. And if they flip the Ajani, we can kill it, and if they don't, it's not going to be really a scary card. Oh, right. Sorry, Rest in Peace stops Ajani from flipping. So I guess I should have killed Guide. Let's keep that on top, though. I forgot that Rest in Peace, counts tokens. It's kind of a nice little extra value, I guess. They're blocking, so they have Wrath the Skies. Wrath's so good against my portable holes. Maybe I shouldn't be in on the portable hole plan. Really fun that even if they're even when they're killing my Steelcutter, I still just get the token. Although it doesn't have haste. Alright, they've got 2 cards in their hand after they draw. A bombardment. And nothing else. Oh, sorry, I missed the Rest in Peace triggering prowess here. I guess I'm gonna save the Rest in Peace for next turn. Very scary to just kind of be in on 2 1/1s against the bombardment, though. Hopefully draw a amulet. Unstable amulet. Oh, dude, Spyro. Yeah, I mean, amulet's probably going to be a win. I only have 1 Surveil land in this build because we're so low to the curve. Another Steelcutter would be a good top deck. Which of Ugin or Boros Cutter has a better combo matchup? I think that the Fleshraker build probably had a pretty good combo matchup because the Fleshrakers just let you kill faster too, in addition to having Karns. Although I guess Mono Green was better at drawing Karn with the Stirrings and Rumble. Wait, they go to 1? Okay, so I'm not gonna have a lot of time to find. I also get very punished for not playing my Rest in Peace. Them going Spyro into a Johnny is about as bad as it could possibly get. So I have Galvanic Blast. I don't have another Surveil, but I have Galvanic Blast, and I have Similar Ensemble. So I have 8 outs, and maybe I get 2 looks. Might as well play this, I guess, because of the Spyro. Sacred Foundry. I think it's okay. I know that Cori's doing well with it at the moment. All right, so that Ocelot Pride. I mean, I'm just dead next turn anyways, so are they plussed? Well, a good choice to plus. Good one. Well, keeping this. Not mulling to 5 game 1 might be helpful in this matchup. Alright, so my current plan is to Galvanic Discharge this, and then go Steelcutter, Mishra's Bauble, and then go Guide Pride. Where the combo decks are trying to target Chalice. It's mostly just good against Storm. It's not very. It's okay against Belcher, and those seem to be the two main combo decks at the moment: Storm and Belcher. But Rook with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. What was round 2 against? We played against Amulet Titan. I don't remember what round 2 was against. I know we killed him pretty quick. Yeah, Steelcutter's been great. But also, I'm about to cast it. You can judge for yourself. Or they have their own guide into Pride. Still, I think we still want to play Steelcutter this turn. I think we want to attack also. It's kind of close. But me going Guide Pride is going to be better with the Steelcutter already in play because I'll get the extra token, the extra life. Kind of the worst draw. Just the worst draw. It's got 3 cards in their hand. Kind of hoping they just play a Flage. Don't know if that's right to hope for. Maybe Ranger Captain. Okay, I got my wish. Although maybe I should wish to win this die roll. Thinking about what to jump, I guess. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Looking forward to listen with Steelcutter with Imri Saga. Actually, so in this build, I wasn't actually playing Saga, which was a bit weird. But I feel like I wanted to play like the double cost 2 drops, and I feel like I was still enabling all my cards without it. But maybe that's wrong. I drew another Ragavan. Ugh, sucks so much to draw 2 in a row there. I'm gonna jump, I think. If we had drawn a land instead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess we would have been one short of copying the tokens. Spike, how did you decide on 3 or 4 copies of Ragavan? In this build, I wanted to play 4 partially because I was expecting the metagame to be like pretty combo and big mana focused. So I just wanted to have more Ragavans, but I think it kind of depends on that. And then you map your sideboard plan a little bit based on how much Boros there is, or isn't, maybe. How's Stoneforge versus Johnny feeling? So I'm a little bit worried about our artifact count without Stoneforge. Stoneforge has been good, I'll say also. Johnny is also pretty broken, so there's that. Does seem like this version of Boros is good against our version of Boros, but also our version of Boros seems to be faster, which isn't worth nothing. I think we can probably go ahead and pack this in with me having 3 dead Ragavans. Now, we just played this matchup, and there seemed to be an issue of boarding in the portable holes, and then they just died to Wrath the Skies eventually. Do you feel like Stoneforge is better than any given artifact in that slot? I do feel like it's better, but I'm open to being wrong. The games have been good. So far, Steelcutter and Ugin have both been really good, Matthew. I think let's just try this, but only bring in 3 portable holes this time. The rips did not... Yeah, the rips did look good. Yeah, turning off the Ajani was pretty good. I don't know. I kind of feel like I lost because I had the rips. Let's try no Rest in Peace on the play. And then maybe on the draw we transition a little bit. Wait, sorry. Sorry, I meant to cut the Ragavans and keep the Jolted Awakes and not have the Rest in Peace. Is creativity a deck in this metagame? I mean, it's not explicitly not a deck, but it hasn't been doing very well, and I don't think it really got anything from the new set, unfortunately. All right, nice hand. And also, you know, maybe even more important, another nice Steelcutter hand to get some more reps with the attack. Steelcutter has been very good every time, basically. Opponent is still thinking, kind of a slow Boros player here. Remember when the ring was legal and like every other match was like just the slowest Boros player you've ever seen? Do not miss those days. Replacing Jolted Awake plus 1 Stoneforge with the Johnny raise the curve too much. That would be fine. It's just draft 1. Let's just get the matches done before trying to swap stuff. I kind of just wanted to try out Jolted Awake too a little bit in this kind of show. But I agree that you could do exactly that. I think that would be fine. Is Steelcutter a collector cage card? It's probably a good collector cage card, yeah. Card is kind of just good. All right, so at the very least, I can go Guide plus Blast next turn. Interesting that they still have Ragavan in their deck post board. I think I'm going to leave the Steelcutter token back to block. Yeah, we played a bunch with the new Ugin. It's pretty damn good. And we played a few matchups against Dimir and Karuga and Boros and Orzhov. We played against all those decks, and it was like just completely unbeatable, which is kind of predictable. Fun to cast. Yeah, I'm not that interested in playing other one-of equipments at the moment. What else have I brewed this afternoon? Well, I've brewed nothing today. I have 14 new decks posted to the Mox field, though. You can take a look. We're on our 3rd deck. We're probably not going to get through more than 4 total today. We'll see. So we can blast the token, and then if they flip the Ajani dies. Not sure what we're playing next turn. Stoneforge, I mean, it obviously depends on what we draw and what they do, but Stoneforge lets me jump something else with Guided Souls. Amulet gives me the possibility to flip this. Is Stoneforge Cauldron no longer a viable strat? Yeah. It's kind of never been a viable strat. I heard it's always been kind of fringe, but it's pretty bad against a lot of stuff, and I just mostly wanted to try this version out and just get more Steelcutters, which felt better to me. They discard 2 lands. I guess Amulet also technically could let me jump. All right, I think we just have enough zeros, and like hitting a 0 or a land to trigger the Steelcutters. It's what I'm going to go for here, although maybe it's not correct. I had a Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, and we have to hit another 2-mana spell in order for us to not trigger the Steelcutter next turn, because we can hit a land and do it, or a 0-drop, or a 1-drop. Static Prism on this Guided Souls, I guess. It's not clear that's better than getting the Steelcutter. They do choose the Steelcutter, which is a good shine for it. I haven't tried Skimmer with Daredevil yet, but it's on my list. I talked about it in my video. Jolted Awake. So we can go Guide up to 3 energy, then Jolted Awake a Bauble, and I guess I would only have 5 energy. All right. Going to game 3. Okay, so on the draw for game 3, it feels like I kind of need to have the rest in peace pieces on the draw so that it just seems so much tougher to race Flage. So let's do that, cutting the Jolted Awakes. I have Steelcutter built in prowess. You can find those listed in the Mox field. We've only been people greatly overestimate how much you can do in a single day. When these new sets come out, it seems like the amount of like what's been I appreciate the excitement, of course. I'm excited too, but the amount of what's been good, what's been bad. Have you played this and that? It's been less than 5 hours. We're in our 3rd league. Steelcutter's been good. Ugin's been good. I wish I had more for you to say. I'm gonna crack the Bauble. It could, I could end up regretting this, but I think it's fine. Okay. And so I mostly encourage you on these, new set release days. Watch a little, hang out for a little bit, form your own opinions. Yeah, please try to enjoy every card equally. All right, see what we draw. Stoneforge Mystic on top. So I could go Guide Pride. It's just so bad against Flage. I think I'm just going to Stoneforge for a cutter. Okay, so no other creature beyond this is pretty good for me, I think. Is Lion Slash... We could maybe have a Lion Slash as tutorable graveyard hit, yeah. Sometimes I'm too harsh on that card, I guess. Does kind of feel like they have a Wrath Disguise, but if they're Wrathing X equals 2, I don't think we really care about that on this board, just a 3 for 3. Yeah, this is going to be a really big set for Modern, I think. Draven Charm? Felia? Where? Okay. Sure. Not the biggest deal. Just a 1-for-1. But I'm going to miss that Steelcutter. 3 cards in their hand after they draw. Fable. Arid Mesa. Very interesting they chose to play the Arid Mesa instead of... holding it to discard. I think I need to do this because I'm pretty sure I get the Kitty's Blessing and I can copy the tokens if they don't kill my Ocelot Pride, and basically forcing the trade of like Fable token for this is... it's not getting any better for us. 2, 3, 4... Although would I want to trade? Yeah, I think I'll just jump the token. I want to deal damage, but I don't want to. I don't want to lose this if for some reason they miss the Ocelot Pride trigger, which it kind of seems like they might. Maybe I'm overthinking it. They must have a Flage. I think yeah. I did kind of figure they would miss this. Just we've been playing so long. Seems like they could miss stuff like this. I mean, yeah. Also, just surveilling seems like a good enough reason. They graveyard an Arena of Glory. We get 3 triggers. Okay, no Flage, no Flage, no Flage. Okay, yes. They discard Fable and they discard Plains. Like, I think discarding Fable does make sense here. Obviously, shocked that they let my Ocelot Pride trigger and get 3 extra tokens and 3 extra energy. How's Amulet felt? I always thought the card was strong. Never found a solid home. I think it's like it's like perfect in this deck because we need artifacts for Mox Opal and we need card advantage, and even also a little bit of extra damage is very nice on the card. So I do think it's quite good here. Worley's Call might become interesting for Boros with Voice of Victory, Pride Bombardment. I don't know. There's some people who want to register Worley's Call in Modern, and there's some people who kill you on turn 2 with Amulet Titan, and the overlap between those two groups doesn't seem to be very big. I think we'll just cast this. All right, so we get another Steelcutter. Well, maybe it was better to leave it on here. They just concede. Nice. Okay, so we lost to Boros. We beat Boros. I'll take it. Let's get a 4-1 prediction. And it happened shockingly in the match we did at Molda 5 game. You will live, Ragavan, the Nimble Pilferer, you're going to live. Oh, this is a Daybreak account. I'm not sure who MSO is, though. The revealed Devourer of Destiny. Cauldron kind of sucks. I'm not very interested in including it, unfortunately. Wish it was better. They exiled an Ugin. I drew a land. Chalice on 0 does get me closer to Metalcraft, which isn't irrelevant. But I also have 8 zeros in my deck, so it seems a little unwise. Although, let me surveil, I guess. If I see another Galvanic Blast on top, I'll probably cast this. Oh, sorry, yeah, another Galvanic Blast. Okay. Let's not cast it. Kaldra in this Eldrazi economy. I mean, yeah, Kaldra is so bad against Eldrazi, it's unbelievable. Get rewarded for maybe what was the obvious line. Yeah, maybe the hand should have been a mulligan. It was close potentially. Would y'all have kept this? I don't know. It's not panned out that well. Yeah, I'm excited for the Izzet version. We'll try to play that tomorrow. Like, I want to play another Steelcutter deck tomorrow and another Ugin deck tomorrow. Because I have a lot of those. Could Steelcutter make Phoenix better? Interesting pivot. It seems really tough to be able to make a token turn 2. So I think that's awkward. I might cast Ugin next turn. I'll have 7 mana. This deck suffers Wrath of the Skies a lot. Do you think that in turn 4 it's a good position? I mean, you can kill in turn 4. Wrath of the Skies is good against us. I think both these things are true. Alright, love that they cast that. So this went like a pretty well for us. I might, if I draw a land, I might just blast the spawn token. Yeah, I think I'm blasting the spawn token. It's a little bit worse than drawing a land, because now I can't Ugin next turn. I'm pretty close. Play a map. I've drawn a Steelcutter, but I'm not going to be able to double spell thanks to Thought on Seer unless I hit something over here. This is the worst Steelcutter's been so far. How is All-Is Dust in your Ugin deck? Come on. You have All-Is Dust, Devour, and Ugin? That doesn't make any sense. They get another tower. Play a Mindstone. And then devour my Ragavan. Yum, yum. You could have just played the Steelcutter and equipped it. That does work for 1 more damage. I mean, that's true. Is that better than holding it and just getting to make a token on my next spell, which is 2 more damage? Yeah. I don't think so. And Sire. Ugin, Devour, Sire, and All-Is Dust. Well, the good news is they seem really in on Tron, so the Blood Moons are going to be a bit better against them than a lot of the Ugin builds. Although it also seems to be true that the 1 mana removal is not so bad here. In fact, I think I'm just going to go down 1 Discharge, 3 Stoneforge Mystic, and bring in the 4 Blood Moons. Let's try that. Has Ugin been as best as everyone expected? It felt about as expected when we played it earlier. Very better than Devour in the Eldrazi Mirror. Absurd against Boros, Orzhov, Karuga, and Dimir today, and then bad against combo. That was as expected. Yeah. Is Needle better than the first Stoneforge? Needle could be okay. Oh, sorry, the Jolted Awakes are also not very good against them. Yeah, I do think a Stoneforge also is not very good against them either. Ah, a little too late. Not that Jolted Awake does nothing. Runs in a mold to 6. Not the most complicated turn. I guess I should attack for 1 before playing the Prides, because they could have Dismember, and they might wait on the Dismember till after I attack. Well, what would a good news, bad news there? Mostly bad news, I guess. And we could get Plains for possible Blood Moon, but I feel like I just won't be able to cast all my spells next turn. Got a pretty red hand. Okay. I would have started with Pride, so I get 100% cats on turn 2. Well, what if you get Dismembered? I guess. I think this is a little bit hindsight bias, but maybe it's just better. I guess it is just better. There it is. Karn, 2 mystery cards. Pretty good Thought-Knot-Seer, although any spell is just so good here. I guess maybe not Bauble. And I guess not Steelcutter either. Okay, is it correct for me to attack? Let me see what my top card is. I think it's not correct for me to attack. Yeah, let's just chill. Might be wrong, but I think this is going to be better. I mean, they have to have exactly Dismember for them to kill the guide, so it's, I don't know, maybe just playing for the extra energy is better, although we should have an abundance of energy for whatever that's worth. Okay, so next turn they're going to have 7 mana. They're going to have 7 mana, and then they can cast Karn and they can get Bridge. Sucks. Guess we're going to lose. Yeah, I guess they'll have 1 card in their hand, and we'll get to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, never mind. We beat Bridge. They could have explosives and go explosives on 1 or 0, maybe. Not very likely for them to have explosives in this build, I guess. Oh, they top decked all as Dust. Okay, well, I guess that's why that card's in the deck. Alright, let's move on. Why did I get a monk? I did get a monk. They blocked it with the Thought-Knot-Seer, and if it's dead, I don't get the copies.